Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is, of course, Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram. Today our Marvel Legends reviews continue with this Monster Venom Build-A-Figure wave, and in front of me we have Marvel's Poison, or just Poison for short. Now I believe this to be a very recent character design from the comics, and it is definitely the first time we've had it in figure form. So very interesting to see what it looks like out of the box. In the box it looks smart, simple. I love the black and white design, so hopefully it looks just as good out of the box. It doesn't come with any accessories, but it does come with a massive Build-A-Figure arm for the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. On the side we get a picture from the comics, and on the back we get a picture, and then we do get a little write-up, and I'm going to talk about this because I think this is quite interesting. The write-up reads, believing himself to be a living miracle after seemingly coming back from the dead, symbiote-possessed Peter Parker rejects the Venom identity and names himself Poison. Now that particular summary doesn't really resemble this character design. That summary resembles a different sort of offshoot story in the comics where there is a Poison character, but it looks different to this guy, and that was the one people thought it was originally going to be before the promo pictures showed it was the white one. So this is from the Venomverse, and I'll get into that when I do my Who Is He segment, but this bio doesn't match this design. I could be wrong, but let me know in the comments, what do you think? Am I insane? Am I just got it wrong? Does that bio fit this design, or is this design from a different story from the bio? You let me know because I'm confused. But anyway, carrying on, as always, there's a list of figures in the wave we need to complete the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Poison. So as I said, that was a bit confusing, but I've probably just overthought it. Who knows? I don't know. Let's get this guy open and see what it's like. Pow, and here he is out of the packaging. Now, I know what you're thinking. Reviewing a white figure and a white background is not a good idea. I agree. So I've pulled out the backup blue background so I can review this properly, as the white is nice and clean. And there you go. Hopefully that stands out a little bit better. It is white entirely with like a silver trimming. Obviously the big black thing at the front, but other than that it's completely white. So I'll zoom in and show you that in detail in a minute. Let's talk about the accessories. Oh wait, he doesn't have any. He does have a Build-A-Figure piece for the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. That is the last piece we need. I now have all of the pieces, so obviously subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell, as my next review on the channel will be the Monster Venom. Very excited to build that beast. But today it is all about Poison. Now the more I think about it, the more I am confident this is the poisoned Spider-Man from the Venomverse storyline. Definitely, because in that storyline there's lots of different versions of Marvel characters that get venomized or get poisonized. Basically poison, they're like the enemy to the symbiote. Like, again, I'll get into it in a bit, but yeah, I think I'm right. But the figure looks very, very nice. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to lift the camera up and zoom in. And as you can see, it's sort of got like a silver trimming. So all of this detail is sculpted detail. And in the sculpt is like a silver trim, which is very nice. It sort of reminds me of like an anti-Venom Iron Man. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what it reminds me of. These tentacle pieces do not come out. I thought they may detach, but no, they don't. They are glued to the chest. They're not bendy wire or anything like that. They are just made of a soft plastic, so they won't get in the way of articulation, but they may get in the way if you're trying to display. But I quite like them. Again, I like anything that makes the character come alive on the shelf, and this simply does it. The black is all the way in the chest as well when you articulate it backwards, and on the back there is no paintwork at all. You can see the sculpted detail, but there's no silver trimming. It would have been nice if the silver trimming went all across the figure. You do get it on the tips of these sort of spikes on his arms, but no painted detail on the back, which is usually the case with Marvel Legends. I'm assuming it's a cost-cutting sort of thing. But yeah, what do you think of this poisoned Spider-Man? I do think it looks a bit like an Iron Man armor, but anti-venomized. But yeah, all of this is sculpted detail, and I do think it's brand new sculpt as well. It could be like a previous Marvel Legend with new sculpt detail, but I don't think so. It could be an old Iron Man, who knows? You tell me. Two different hands, one sort of claw hand, and he seems to have a bit of orange under there randomly, bit of orange, oh wow. And then one fist hand, and he's got like a really spiked hand under there. Oh yeah, he's sort of, it's his giant fingernail, that's what it is. So that's a new sculpted hand because that thumb fingernail is massive, and this is like the claws. So yeah, at least they kept that continuity. But I quite like it, people. I quite like it. So let me zoom back out of this if he stands straight for me. As I said, these are flexible. They won't get in the way of articulation. You can bend them all in. You can rip them off if you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. But yeah, I really like it. As I said, articulation is all there, as you would expect a Marvel Legend. Double jointed knees, but they don't go far back that much. There is ankle pivot, of course, and then double jointed elbows, which are quite good. And then the head has quite a good range of motion. You can look quite far up, and you can look down, and there's decent ab crunch as well. So yeah, decent range of motion as you would expect for a Spider-Man Marvel Legend. Now, as I was saying, I'm doing a Who Is He segment, but this one's a little bit weird because I'm mainly talking about the character design, as Poison's not necessarily a single character, it's more of an entity. But let's get into that, and let me talk about where I think this character design come from in a segment I like to call Poison. Who is he? Now, this is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information about the character this figure is inspired by. Now, Poison. Who is he? So I believe this version of Poison to be the version of Peter Parker from the recent Venomverse storyline. In this story, Poisons are a new alien species capable of assimilating symbiotes and taking over their hosts. You will find this particular character design of Poison on the very last panel of Venomverse #1 from 2017, and then continued on to issue 2. The Poison species are now aware of the multiverse, so maybe we shall see them pop up in the Marvel Universe sometime in the future. There you go, so I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information about the characters these figures are inspired by. And I think you should agree with me, the character design is from the Venomverse, right? So that bio is wrong, but again, Hasbro, if I'm wrong, get in touch, send me some figures, I don't mind. But yeah, let's compare this guy to some other figures. So I'm going to take the blue away, he's going to vanish into the white, but I'm going to bring in some very colourful friends. The team I have nicknamed the Symbiote Rainbow Squad. I doubt it will stick. I don't think they're a fan. But all these figures I'm going to have to struggle now to get balanced up. So we've got Carnage. We've got Scream. Red and yellow. On the white. They're not going to stand. I told you in my review of Scream, she's a pain to get to stand. Let's bring in Lasher, which is green, and one of his tentacles fell out. Typical, just as I'm about to put you on camera, Lasher, you have to embarrass me. And he's back, there he is. There's Lasher. And did his tentacle fall out again? Lasher, come on, this is your moment. You got back on camera. There you go, there's Lasher. And let's bring in Venom as well on this side. So there you go. These are the symbiotes I seem to have in my collection so far. I'm assuming there's a lot of you out there with more than that. I know there's anti-venom, I know there's toxic, but I think these look really good together. It's like the Power Rangers of the symbiotes. Symbiote Power Rangers, I don't know. Make a comic of that. But I think they look pretty cool, not gonna lie. And Peter Porker doesn't stand a chance against them. And here he is compared to Spider-Man Noir and Kane, aka Scarlet Spider. Again, all of these figures, I think they pop really well. Kane was one of my favourites from the previous wave, and Spider-Man Noir was one of my favourites of that wave. I just think they're simple designs, but they are simple and smart designs. They're not overcomplicated, they're just sleek and they look good. And lastly, here we have Poison compared to all of the other figures in this wave that I have reviewed, as in Spider-Ham, Carnage, Scream, Typhoid Mary, Eddie Brock / Venom. So I have reviewed all the figures in the wave. So now I have every piece I need to build the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure. 2 arms, 2 feet, that weird head. They are all here. The legs are here somewhere. They're all on the table. So now I have to just go and review this guy. So this is my last review of the monster Venom. So obviously subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications tab as this review is coming next. Go and check out the videos tab, and as always there is a playlist and you can see my full review of each one of these characters, and I'll do a who is he / who is she segment for all of them. So you find out about the character as well as checking out the figure with me. So I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what is your favourite figure of the wave, and yeah, I shall see you on the next one.